Sometimes everything goes according to plan. Sometimes they go horribly. Join us while we tell tales of games gone wrong. This is Curmudgeons and Dragons RPG Horror Stories.
Hello, adventurers! Welcome to Curmudgeons and Dragons. My name is Jason Portizo. Today, I am joined by Mr. Jim Crocker.
Hey, how we doing?
And once again, Miss Josey Diaz.
Heidi-ho!
And you, the listener. So, hello.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
I don't know why I turned into a robot for that, but it's fine.
Welcome.
It's your
Thank
hostess
you.
voice. Yeah.
They don't put me on a hostess anymore because I go, what do you want? Why are you here? We close in 20 minutes.
Yep.
You're not ordering a fucking burger. Are you out of your mind?
Right.
That's why they keep me in the kitchen now.
So we got a horror story today.
I love this one.
I'm on the tail end of being sick, but I'm going to try to read this one anyway. Let's see how I can pull this off.
Yeah, and if I deem it's not good enough, I'll just read it for you. Don't worry.
That's fine. That might sound a little worse, but I'm probably going to stop
better.
cough a few times, so you guys on the YouTube get to watch me cough.
You're getting better. It's good.
Yeah. All right, jump in.
Do it.
Jumping in. This is posted by user Atomic. Ooh, okay.
This is posted by a user.
Yes, user Atomic, mentally challenged.
Just
person.
Atomic inappropriate.
Guy. Yeah, sure.
Atomically inappropriate. You should just change your name.
Should check yourself on that one, Atomic guy. So anyway, so the story is called DM Bait and Switches D&D Night for Board Game Night.
I love this story so much.
Now,
and this is actually written by Jason. Fun fact.
Sure.
Change your fucking username.
Yeah, thanks. As a huge board game guy, I've had the reverse happen to me probably too many times before I got into D&D. Now I'd be like, yay. But
back then it was a nay.
Medium tag, and that's for the once we've got a correct tag.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, they're a board gamer, so accuracy is important.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
Can't
we got rules here. You can't play fast and loose with Catan rules. All right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You can't hand wave. Although Monopoly gets hand waved a lot, but that's barely a board game.
Monopoly gets hand waved because every time everybody's distracted, I steal money from the bank.
Story goes, you should play a game called Illuminati. It's an old Steve Jackson game where stealing from each other is actually encouraged.
Yeah, cheating is built into the game.
The cheating is also built into Monopoly. That's the purpose of monopolies. Okay, anyway, sorry.
First off, I would like to say that I don't have any ill intention towards DM, and we have been friends for a long time in the event that he reads this or listens to this podcast.
Little CYA. Just start with that. That's, exactly, yeah.
Over the pandemic,
I have nothing against the asshole who did this idiot thing I'm about to tell you about.
Sometimes, you know what? Calling your friends out for being assholes is the exact correct response, and they need to hear it.
I have no ill intention towards the DM. So listen what this son of a bitch did, all right?
Exactly, yeah.
Let me tell you what this schmuck has been doing to me.
Over the pandemic, I joined a dungeon crawl campaign hosted by someone I used to play IRL with in high school. He hosted board games, Warhammer, and Magic, and TTRPGs at his garage every Saturday. The campaign generally progressed well. About a month or so ago, DM indicates to the group that he misses board games and that his IRL board game group disbanded during COVID, and for whatever reason did not get back together, leaving him without a current outlet. So far, I am sympathetic towards the DM because that is it's
I
hard
still
to
can't tell if this is actually you or not.
Yeah, right. No, my board game group is actually pretty good. He asked if people in the D&D campaign are up for trying to play some board games online. Unfortunately, there was not much interest in online board games in the group. Personally, I was never that into board games. Now, again, being a huge board gamer guy, online board games kind of sucks.
So the DM is Jason. The poster is me. So
loving it so far.
No.
And I'm just happy to be included. I'm just one of the other players.
I owned a board game store I owned a game store for like, I managed a game store before that. So it was like I worked in game stores for over 20 years, and like I played more board games where I literally can't play a board game to win it anymore. Because the whole point when you're playing with customers is you let them win so that they think that the game is cool. And so like I've just completely lost the ability to play it in any kind of way that's actually competitive. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
I love teaching players games, but I also love teaching them like how to play it well.
Sure.
And they have to learn through pain.
Well,
trial by fire, baby.
That is one approach, I suppose. Yes.
Do not play Clank or Potion Explosion against me. I will crush you.
Yeah. Clank can get pretty
I
brutal.
love Clank so much. We're starting a Clank Legacy game soon. I hope I can.
Ooh, I didn't realize there was a legacy version of it. That's kind of cool.
It's actually skinned with Acquisitions Incorporated, which is
interesting. I love legacy games. Legacy games are kind of like RPGs in a box, depending on how they work. So yeah.
So back to the story. Sessions are played once every other week. This week's session, the party wanders into a hall with a large table in the middle. As soon as we enter, the door slams shut. I'm assuming he means in-game, but this could also be IRL.
Could you imagine? He just slides a panel in his wall away, and there's a table set up with fucking Catan.
Well,
All the door. Well, hang on.
When they lock you into the room. Yes, yeah.
Let me read the rest of this paragraph, okay?
Okay.
After doing some investigation, we find a riddle about a road to victory that will clear the way written on the table. Inside the table, we, of course, find a board game that is not Catan. We eventually deduce that in order to open the doors, we need to win the board game using the longest road victory condition. One of the PCs asked if we were going to do a gaming set check to see if we can do it and or how long it takes us. DM replies no.
If only it were so easy.
DM replies no and moves us to a new Roll20 map where he basically has set up a not Catan board. So Josey, yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. I didn't know what board game it was going to be.
This is where we are now. He tells us that we will need to play out the game to pass the puzzle and proceeds to explain Roll20 decks and links us to the not Catan rules. I haven't played Catan in more than a decade and am no longer familiar with the rules. One of the other players has never played. So we have to take an extensive break to go over the rules. I asked him why he thinks we would want to play not Catan when no one was interested in board game night, and if he would reconsider his position on a gaming set check. His position was that this was a legitimate D&D puzzle and shouldn't be bypassable with just a check. He also informs us that he spent the last 2 weeks preparing a few board games on Roll20 and giving them a fantasy reskin, and that this is the content he has prepared for the session. At this point, I excused myself, honestly a bit stunned that he thinks this would be appropriate. I understand not wanting to run D&D anymore and or wanted to play board games, but come on.
No, don't come on. He found a clever and innovative way to get the best of both worlds, and I personally commend this DM.
He found a clever and innovative way to trick players into playing a game they didn't want to play.
Yeah.
Where you say clever and innovative, I hear passive and aggressive.
Those can be, you can be, hold on, wait. You can be passive aggressive and also clever. Those are not mutually exclusive terms.
All right. Yes. Yeah. No, I would, yeah, that's just, and like, this isn't, nobody's like doing anything NSFW or anything like this is, but yeah, I feel like just the dude, really, come on, dude. What do you,
from
seriously?
Personal experience with something similar to this. I play D&D with some friends from school, and the one week, I don't know if we were missing a bunch of people or what led to this, but I think it was just us being silly little sausages, and our DM was finally like, okay, you know what? You guys can just, in the tavern, play card games in character. And that's what we fucking did. We played War and Bullshit, or Shithead, I don't remember what it's called. And we just played it in character.
The DM didn't say, hey, you guys want to play card games instead tonight? And you guys were like, no, we want to play D&D. And he goes, surprise, you're playing card games in D&D. Like that was your choice to play the card games.
Yeah.
We could have definitely done some plot stuff because we did that for about an hour and we were like, this is stupid. But
right.
It's a different, like, it's one thing to play board games or play card games. It's a very different thing to play them as your D&D character. Like one of our D&D characters is illiterate and just kept eating the cards.
Was that you?
No, I play a little country bumpkin.
I'm literate and I ate the cards.
I'm literate and I ate the cards. That's some good fiber.
My experience in getting people to play any kind of game that they don't want to play, which with like some of my friends is all games. Most of my friends are into board games, and D&D is a stretch. Some of my friends are D&D players, and board games are like they don't see the point. I'm not super into video games. Like if you invite me over for D&D and we start playing, that'd be a great example.
We walked into a room and the door slammed down, and then an illusion of a magical
4X game just appeared out of the fucking floor
with two of our characters facing off against each other like this, with bars over their heads appeared.
That'd be so funny, though. If you could, if you could rig up a whole room to be a hologram for it, how could you say no to that? How could you be like, nah, this doesn't seem cool enough for me? Like, motherfucker, you've got hologram trees here that you have to fake cut down.
But like, joking aside, this is the other thing that why I get sometimes exasperated when DMs will post like, I want to do a big arena fight and drop it into the middle of my campaign. And my first question with that is always, okay, that's not strictly speaking, encounter-based D&D. Have your players all asked for this? Or is this you wanting to put a fighting game into D&D instead of playing regular D&D? But this is astonishingly passive-aggressive. The amount of work that went into, I don't know, like some of our listeners may not have had experience with Roll20 as a platform, and the like pain in the ass that it is to create content for Roll20, to actually kludge together a working board game on Roll20. I mean, respect for that amount of work, but
for something that might not necessarily have payoff, like the OP left.
Yeah, man, oh man. Yeah, it's like making it's that thing where you do some incredibly elaborate, proposal to someone who says, sorry, no. Like that.
It reminds me of a scene from Doctor Who from like the 50th anniversary where they're trying to like reverse polarity and stuff on their screwdrivers because that doesn't do wood. And then Clara just walks through the door and they're like, how did you do that? And she was like, did you even bother to check if the door was locked? Because it wasn't.
Yeah.
This sounds I like where the DM's head is at. But this
which is
ain't it.
In Catan.
It's dedicated. I'll give him that.
That's... Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry you can't find a new board game group, dude, but this ain't it.
And this is another one. We just had our 100th episode where we did follow-ups. Yeah, we did. And this is one I want to follow up on
so badly.
Like at some point there can also be that thing where like they made so much effort and they clearly want it so bad that you go, okay, fuck it, you win. And I'm curious whether that happened here or the player was like, nope, that's it, I'm out, I'm gone. Yeah. Because they said that, he kind of was like, dude, what are you doing? But then like there's those 3 dots at the end of this post leading us to, speculate about how it all ended. So,
yeah. Although this DM did give me a great idea to where like, I'm just going to invite a bunch of people over and there'll be a board game already set up at my table and then all the doors are going to slam shut.
There was a TikTok that I saw recently that was like, oh, do you want to test what your trauma response is in less than 5 seconds? And they're like, okay, cool. They stand up, they walk over to the door and they lock it. And it's a video I'm watching and I felt every cell in my body go into attack mode.
Yeah.
Side note, I've been told that instead of saying I saw a TikTok about this, you're supposed to say, so I read it in the New York Times.
The New York Times doesn't play videos in that manner.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care. Let me be. I'm a hip. I'm young. I'm the baby on this podcast.
It took me a bunch of my DM kept like quoting things from the New York Times. It's like, oh yeah, I read about this in the New York Times. It starts like spouting off like some like trivia thing. I'm like, why would the New York Times post about that? He's like, oh yeah, that's code for I saw it on a TikTok.
Yes. The New York Times says that having flying characters in your campaign is not that big a deal, actually.
Yeah, the New York Times tells me
what?
Like, every time I'm reading it, there's a new segment about the lore of Peter Pan. It's a bi-monthly segment that they just keep running, and it's actually just me watching the same person's TikToks over and over again.
I keep finding these articles in the New York Times where they want me to just go to the author's OnlyFans page. It was weird.
Well, you and I have very different TikTok pages.
Literary OnlyFans.
I still have a lot of, I don't like browse TikTok like at all, so I still have like the default algorithm, which is really horny for some reason.
The default algorithm, okay. I think you just spent a little too much time looking at boobies, which is totally fine.
Which, like, you know,
you only have to stay on the video for a couple extra seconds before they're like, that's what they like, that's what they're here for.
The only thing I follow is D&D pages. I'm trying to teach it to something more D&D.
I'm sorry, have you met a group of people hornier than D&D players?
Fair.
Yeah, I know.
Fair.
Horny for board games, I guess. That's
I'm horny for a whole bunch of stuff. It doesn't have to be of the flesh.
All right, well, I'm going to go play board game.
Please don't end the podcast with that.
Nope, we're going to.
No.
That's it.
Damn it.
You had your chance. We do these things every single week. Curmudgeonsanddragons.com. Give us a follow. Go check us out on YouTube if you're not watching us right now. And we got our own TikTok, Curmudgeons and Dragons. So you can go follow us on there. Trying to get that up to trying to get some numbers up on that so we can unlock the rest of the things we can unlock. We're doing pretty well. We went from like less than 100 to almost 700 in like a week and a half there. So thanks for following us. If you found us through there, let us know. I'd love to know what's working. That's all I got. Jim, Josey, thanks so much.
You're very welcome.
We did it.
Yeah.
Goodbye, adventurers.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Curmudgeons and Dragons. Please share this with your favorite adventurers and leave a review. If you have a tale we should tell, please send it to us at curmudgeonsanddragons.com/contact for consideration. You are now out of initiative.